Starfield is getting even bigger. I've been watching the Game Maker's Notebook podcast with Todd Howard and Ted Price, and I think I found some very exciting things Todd Howard has said about Starfield that a lot of articles haven't really reported on. So catch my last Starfield update down below, and we also talk about so many other games on this channel like the Cyberpunk sequel, the next Ghost Recon game, The Last of Us Part 3, Star Wars, and many more. So Todd Howard said that he has a list of features he wants to add to Starfield through fan and developer feedback, which he spoke about on the Game Maker's Notebook podcast. He says, when you look at an audience, they get used to a game and they usually want to +1 it. They want to add X, Y, and Z, and the developers usually do as well. Even Starfield, as we look at it now, we're looking at feedback. We have a big list here of here's all the things we want to add to the game, and everybody wants to do it right away, but we know, okay, let's pick our battles and make sure everything is really solid because this is a game and it's intentionally being made to be played for a very long time. So it's great to know that Todd Howard and his developers have a large list of brand new features that they want to add to Starfield that have been highly requested by the fans. I think one of the most prominent requests is land vehicles, and I'm sure that they tried to add this into the game first, but it's going to take a lot longer to get it right. But I also like the fact that Todd Howard did mention it's a big list of new features, so there's so many new things that they are going to add to Starfield. And he also says that they can't do it right away as much as they want to, they just can't. And they're also going to have to pick their battles with choosing what new features come first and maybe work on later on. Things like land vehicles may take a long time to get it right and have it fully working. And that's another great thing about mods. Maybe one of the modding teams would get it right first. And from that point, Bethesda can use that and add it as DLC or in a future expansion. Todd Howard also said how Starfield right now is just at its base game. It's kind of in its first form. And he looks forward in building upon that in the future. Then the Insomniac CEO Ted Price praised that ideology of having the single player game you put out be the starting point rather than the idea of having this be the final game and then never updating that game and kind of leaving it how it is. Now I know some companies out there will take that as let's put out an unfinished product and add to it later, like a lot of games that have been released over the last 5 to 10 years. One of the biggest examples is Cyberpunk 2077, how that came out as an unfinished game, but now 3 years later it's in a very, very good state. So to have this idea of Starfield being in its first form, and as the months and years go by, there's brand new updates, fixes, expansions, and then when we get to the 5-year point, Starfield should look very different to its base game. And Todd Howard and Ted Price did kind of talk about this on how Todd Howard wanted Starfield to be a very different game by the 5 to 10 year mark. And Todd Howard really did drive home the point of player feedback being very, very important to them and how they are listening to fans and seeing what they could improve and fix upon as the years go by. So taking all this in mind, let's look at how Starfield would actually look like in 2024. 2024 is set to be a massive year for Starfield. We've got a lot of things already confirmed to be coming to Starfield next year, and we can also look to previous Bethesda practices in what could be added next year to the game. So we know already that official mod support will be coming to Xbox and PC for Starfield, and Todd Howard said that the studio intends to support modding in a big way, and he clarified that you will be able to do almost anything just like in the previous works, referring to Skyrim and Fallout 4. He said mod support will be available next year, but we love it too, so we'll do it in a big way. But over on PC, you can actually get Nexus mods for Starfield, and there are so many great ones to choose from. There are thousands of mods already on Nexus mods that could give you an idea of what the modding scene will look like when it comes officially in 2024. Some of them include the Star UI inventory being overhauled, performance optimizations, replacing FSR2 with DLSS, some Star Wars inspired armor, new weapons, and so much more. Also in 2024, we can expect the arrival of the DLC expansion Shattered Space, which is rumored to be released sometime in March 2024. Could also see us getting some sort of gameplay trailer in December at the Game Awards. There's hardly any information on what's actually going to be in the DLC expansion next year. It most likely will be separate from the main campaign and be its own DLC, as we've seen with Fallout 4 and Skyrim's past big expansive DLCs. But also, I think we may even get another DLC expansion later next year. Bethesda also likes to add smaller DLCs to the game that introduce brand new mechanics. Just like in Skyrim, we got the Hearthfire DLC that introduced outpost building, and Fallout 4 we got the Automatron DLC that introduced in building robots and things like that. We may get a cheaper standalone DLC that's part of the season pass that introduces a brand new gameplay mechanic to the game, but alongside that I think we'll get another big story expansion late 2024. And throughout 2024 you can expect multiple patches that fix bugs in the game and also enhance certain aspects of the game too. So you can expect these big and small patch updates for Starfield throughout the year, maybe once every 2 months or so. And another big feature that we've seen in previous Bethesda games that I think will be added by the end of the year to Starfield is Bethesda's Creation Club. Now this is just basically mods again, but you have to pay for them. And they kind of market these as premium mods. Now I was never a fan of the Creation Club in both Fallout 4 and Skyrim, so I don't think I'll ever be accessing any of these, but I'm sure it will be added to Starfield after the official mod support is integrated into the main game. So 2024 is going to be a massive year for Starfield, and remember that the team on Starfield is actually a lot smaller now because a majority of Bethesda Game Studios is now working towards The Elder Scrolls 6. However, Starfield is still Todd Howard's baby. It's the game he's been dreaming about for 25 years. So he's definitely going to keep a close eye on the game and its updates and its brand new features. And there's still tons that Todd Howard wants to include into the game himself. Again, this is a game that he wants to last for 10 plus years. So it's not a game that they're exactly going to be holding back features for a sequel. We may never see a sequel to Starfield, but rather get incremental updates every single year. By the end of 2024, we can look back on the state of Starfield in 2023, and there will be so much that has been added to the game, and Starfield will feel even bigger than it does right now. So let me know what brand new features you want to see added to Starfield in the comment section below. Go and check out my previous Starfield update along with my brand new Cyberpunk 2077 sequel Orion video as we go over the brand new details of the sequel to Cyberpunk 2077. We also talk about the Elder Scrolls 6, Star Wars games, the Ghost Recon franchise, Splinter Cell, Prince of Persia and much more on this channel. So go ahead and subscribe, and I want to thank you again for watching this video. It means a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out, God bless, and I hope to see you on my next videos. Take care guys.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please Lord give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind.